Assalamu alaikum. My name is Sam, and on my channel I will be discussing many different subjects such as religion, politics, relationships, finance, and others. I will be trying also to answer some of your questions and some forbidden questions. Through your appreciated interaction, I hope we will both grow and learn to think out of the box. Thank you.